calls to take a survey and you're cheating, hang up.
It's War of the Roses on KDWB.
War of the Roses. Gary walks in on his girlfriend doing something, and then things get even weirder. So let's get Gary on the phone to tell us. Gary, first of all, thanks for being on. What did you walk in on with your girlfriend, Renee, and how did this all come about?
Well, it's funny. I have a key. We don't live together, but we're at the point where, we both have keys to each other's place. And I go into her house, and she's not in the living room, which is, it's not that weird. I walk in the bedroom, and she's on all fours. She's butt naked. Her butt is in the air. She's filming it. And it is explicit, and I'm a man, so I just kind of watch for a little bit. And then... Well,
you're a man, but that's also your girlfriend, so it wasn't creepy. It wasn't like you were the maintenance guy walking in. I guess if I walked in on that with Susan, I would probably watch for a second, too. And I'd be very surprised, which I'm going to guess you were very surprised, too.
I was surprised, and my first thought, honestly, was like, oh, she's making this for me. That's kind of what I thought. And so I kind of go, oh, hey, like, what's going on? And then she goes, oh, I'm making this for myself. She's like, it turns me on to make videos for myself. And I thought that was weird. I never heard of that before. Apparently, there's like, I Googled it, there's like a fetish for...
You Googled it?
Yeah.
And there is a thing where people get... aroused by making... Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I will tell you this one, though. So if she was making it for somebody else, my first lie would have been, oh, I'm making this for you.
Yeah.
But she did not go with I'm making this for you. She said, I'm making it for myself, which to me seems like the truth. But okay, go ahead. Keep going. So...
Yeah. So then, the next couple weekends, she goes up to her family's cabin, and I can't make it because of work and stuff like that. And she's just completely, according to her, off the grid. Like, she's not answering texts, she's not answering calls. And she says, oh, there's no service up there. Like, it's just completely dead. And it's like, okay, first off, it's 2023. It's not like that dead. I don't really have that experience if I ever go up north.
I think that's kind of true. I mean, you were just up north on the North Shore, Jenny.
Yeah.
Obviously, like cities, Two Harbors, Grand Marais, they're going to have cell service. But if you get away from cities, is there dead spots anymore?
There definitely is dead spots, but my thing is, if she's at a cabin, most people have Wi-Fi at their cabins now. Unless you're just like totally woodsy kind of people who don't have running water or electricity or anything. That's probably the only chance you're not having Wi-Fi at your cabin.
Does she have Wi-Fi at the cabin? Do you know?
Yeah, she 100% does.
Okay,
Definitely.
so no reason then for, and so she claims you text her, she doesn't text, you don't get a phone call, whatever. She's out of touch for the weekend. So your suspicion is it's not because she doesn't have connection, it's because she's with the guy she was making the video for.
Yeah, I mean, that has to be it.
Okay. I think you might be onto something because I remember going up to Lutzen 15 years ago. And what was the name of the bar up there? Papa Charlie's?
Yes.
There was no Wi-Fi. There was no coverage, no cell signal really at Papa Charlie's. But I've been up there lately, and now there is Wi-Fi. Not Wi-Fi, but I mean, yeah, Papa Charlie's has Wi-Fi, or they did before they burned down. But there's signals up there. But there's still dead spots. I got an idea. Here's what we can do. We will call Renee, and we will say we're from your phone company. And we will say, hey, how's your coverage? And you can ask Jenny, like, are there any dead spots? And if she's like, oh, yeah, up by Grand Marais or up by or whatever, then maybe she'll remember that.
Yeah.
So that'll be one thing. If she says, no, there's no dead spots, whatever, that's a red flag. But then you can ask, who do you want to go do a couples massage with? And, of course, the correct answer is Gary. There's nobody else that she should be going to do a couples massage with. You don't do it with your buddy.
Nope.
You don't do it with your brother. You don't do it with your cousin Peter. So we'll come back. We'll make the phone call and see who she wants to do the couples massage with. Then we'll talk to Jonathan Fogel from Fogel Family Law, get his take on the whole thing. And in the meantime, let me know. Send me a text. Is there dead spots for coverage up north? I don't know that there really are anymore. I'm going to guess probably in the middle of the Boundary Waters, there's no coverage.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't have service up there for the most part.
Really?
Don't. Yeah. I mean, they have Andrew was just up there last year, and he said that they were able to get service in one specific spot because they had built a tower or something. But outside of that, no, you don't have service up there.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I go up there all the time, and there's places you can go. You can go to like a Target or a Walmart if you can find one, and like you can log if you need to talk to someone.
Let me bring you up to speed.
Cheating? Let's find out. Part 2 of War of the Roses starts right now on KDWB.
As I was saying, let me bring you up to speed on War of the Roses. He comes into her house the other day. He's got a key, and they've been dating enough that he's got a key. So he comes in. She's not in the living room. She's not in the kitchen. He goes back in the bedroom, and there she is, apparently on the bed, no clothes on, and she is on her hands and knees with the phone making a video. And he's like watching for a minute because it's his girlfriend, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, I just do this for myself. Now, I thought it was interesting that but whatever. Mm-hmm. So she says, I'm doing it for myself. He looked it up. It is a thing. Some people do that. That
they
gets
like
them,
to
whatever.
watch themselves.
So he's like, okay. Then she's been going to the cabin with her family the last few weeks. And there's no cell service up there. She's like, I didn't answer your text messages. There's no cell service. There's no whatever. But everybody has Wi-Fi. He's like, I think she's up there with another guy. Because who doesn't have cell service? There's a lot of people, though, that disagree.
There's a lot of people that said that. Basically, past Grand Marais, Verizon considers it Canada. So they say that there's no service up there.
Really? Okay, got it.
We don't have cell service at our cabin, an hour northwest of Duluth. My cabin is 2 hours north, and there is definitely dead spots, and I barely get service there. We do have Wi-Fi, though, and I think that that's one of the main things. Is I think that he said that she has Wi-Fi, or maybe he didn't say that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but if you have Wi-Fi, you should be fine. Like I've definitely gone to cabins and there's not any service, but once you connect to Wi-Fi, you're good.
But I'm going to guess a lot of people, when they go to their cabin, they want to be shut off from Wi-Fi, cell, all that stuff. So, but apparently, it's like a modern cabin, and they have, I don't know. This text message said, we'll get to the call in a second. We'll make the phone call. My fiance's got a hunting shack in Little Fork, Minnesota. Dead spots are atrocious. You drive up there alone. You have to go an hour in the car with no cell service. And at the shack, you got to find the perfect spot in the middle of a field and stand on your foot just to send text messages.
Yeah.
So there apparently still are dead spots up north. Let's make the phone call, and we'll play the little trick where we say, hey, work from your phone company. How is your service? Do you have any dead spots? And we'll see what she says. Then we'll talk to attorney Jonathan Fogel to see what he has to add to this whole thing. He's always got some great tips for us. Stay here for that. Let's make the phone call right now on KDWB's War of the Roses.
Hello?
Hi, is Renee there?
This is Renee. Who's this?
Hi, Renee. My name's Rachel. So I work with, and we're doing a quick survey right now to just check on how our coverage is around the country. And as a reward, we're actually gifting the person on the phone a couples massage. So do you have just a couple minutes real quick to answer a few questions for me?
And I just have to answer a few questions?
Yep. I got 3 questions for you.
Okay. Sounds good.
The first one is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your coverage with us?
A 10.
Okay, awesome. And the next one is, do you feel like there's any dead spots when you're using your phone?
No, not really.
Okay, so far so good. And then my last question is, I know you're local to the Twin Cities, but do you travel around much? And when you do you have any issues with your phone usage?
Not really. I mean, I go up by Duluth and Ely.
And it still works okay up there when you're in that area?
Yeah, it seems fine so far.
Awesome. Okay, so that's literally all I needed from you. And because you answered all those questions, I do have a couples massage that I can gift for you. So I have your information already. Just was wondering, because we got to know who's coming with you. Who do you think you'll bring with for this couples massage?
Oh, okay. So, Brad is the first name.
Okay, yep, and last name. Brad. Okay, great.
You know, I was talking about how I had a
Do you
bad
need
day.
anything else?
I'm going to just change your world here a little bit. And I was talking about how I had a bad day yesterday and how I don't want to make you have a bad day, but I have a feeling your day is going to get a little bit worse because let me explain what is going on. Renee, first of all, you're not dreaming this. You really did get a phone call.
Yeah.
And somebody really did ask how your cell service was and offered you the couple's massage, but it's not legit. It's not your phone company. It is the Dave Ryan Show on KDWB on the radio. And we were put up to this by your boyfriend, Gary. For the only purpose was Gary wanted to find out if you would choose him or somebody else for the couple's massage. And how do you even know I'm not making this up? Well, Gary is here. Gary, say hi so Renee will know that you're there.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
So basically, he was, if you don't mind, Gary, I'll help you explain it here.
Sure.
He was concerned when he walked in on you a couple of weeks ago, and I don't want to embarrass you, but you were making kind of a sexy video, and he walked in. You remember that, right?
Yeah, that was for me. I told him that.
Well, that's what he said, and he said he kind of believed you, and he said he looked it up, he Googled it, and that's the thing. That's fine. But then he was worried that when you go to the cabin, you say you're going with your mom and dad, you never answer the phone. You don't send messages, you don't text.
I mean, there's not really great reception there. So, I mean, Gary, I told you that.
Well,
and
what's
I'm
funny?
with my family. It's not like I'm going to be, I'm spending time with my family. I'm not going to be on my phone when I'm hanging out with my family.
Well, I don't think he has a problem with that, but when we were asking you about your cell coverage, when you thought we were calling from your phone company, you said that it was all good.
Well,
So I guess our question is, how can it be good but bad at the same time?
I wanted to get the massage, and all I had to do was answer the questions for the survey. So
Okay. All right.
I think you would have
But it
gotten the
was fine.
massage either way. It was just, you said to answer the questions. So you could have answered them more honestly if you didn't feel like the coverage was great, but it kind of feels like you think the coverage is awesome.
Well, what's more is when we asked who you wanted to go with the couples, and I hate to be piling on you. Like I said, your good day is going to go from an average day to kind of a weird day. Jenny said, that was Jenny, the woman on the phone said, who do you want to go to the couples massage with? And you picked a guy named Brad.
yeah, that's my cousin. Brad's my cousin.
You want to go to a couples massage with your cousin?
Oh, I didn't know it was a couples massage. It's just
You just said couples massage. You just said, no, you did. You just said, I wanted to win the couples massage.
I wanted to win the massage. I didn't say couples massage.
You said,
Oh my
you
gosh.
said couples. We said couples massage probably 3 times. You said, I want to win the couples massage.
Is she gaslighting us now? Because I think
mean,
she's
I don't-
gaslighting her boyfriend.
Yeah, I think so. So we're wrong. You're right. We're wrong.
I mean, yeah, I wanted to win the massage, and my cousin's visiting, and so I want to treat him, but I didn't know that it had to be like a couple thing.
Okay.
I mean,
All right. You know what, Gary?
I'm at work. I mean, what's going on, Gary? Like, come on.
Who the is Brad? You don't even have a family name. There's no.
He's my cousin, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, curious who takes their cousin for a couples massage. What do you think of this War of the Roses? Everything from the Wi-Fi, which I think we kind of settled. There are big Wi-Fi gaps.
Yeah, there are.
And when you were asking how's the service, and we were talking about, well, you said the service is good. How can it be good and bad at the same time? It could be that she's like, well, the service here in the cities is great because my service here in the cities is great. Once in a while, you get a weird dead spot, but maybe she wasn't thinking about service up by the cabin, 3 hours north of here, 2 hours north of here. So what do you think? We got a bunch of text messages. Gary, run as fast as you can. Get out, dude.
Renee sounds like a straight up narcissist. Yeah.
Maybe. This text says, oh my God, this was the best ploy ever. She is speechless about her coverage. Not even good lies, says this text message. She floundered. Big yikes. All right. What do you think? Send us a text at KDWB1 53921. Do you ever listen to War of the Roses because you're like a legal person and you go, they're definitely lying, or they're definitely, because people do, I'm sure they even lie in court, even though you take the, you take the whatever oath not to lie in court. Do you get a detector, like a lie detector built in, Jonathan?
I think what I call it is my BS detector. It's probably become more sharp as the years have gone by. There's those like Renee, there's those gaps in the answer where you're like, why is it taking you 10 seconds to answer a question that should probably just be right on the tip of your tongue?
You know what is so true? And sometimes when you ask somebody something, we've talked about this before, you'd be like, Jenny, where are the donuts that I had in the kitchen? Jenny might go, huh? Because she's stalling.
Yeah, trying to think of something. What do you mean? What donuts are you talking about?
Yeah. So
yeah, I always say if someone says the answer, if someone's answer is what, you know they're lying, because unless you're speaking a foreign language, they heard you. They're just trying to buy some time.
Yep. It's like going, or, Jonathan Fogel's a family attorney, and he also does improv. So you got a fun attorney here.
Yeah.
I've met Jonathan.
We try to make it light. I mean, I can't make the process fun, but I can try to make it a little less painful.
I've known Jonathan for years, and Jonathan's just a fun guy, a good friend, and also a killer attorney. You do not want Jonathan on the other side of the courtroom, that's for sure. So if you are divorcing or you're heading down that road or things are not going well with your ex or custody or payments, get a hold of Jonathan. But let's talk about, first of all, what did you take away from this War of the Roses with the cabin and the video and all of that?
Well, I always like to do two things. I like to share a story about something that happened, then maybe give some tips. So I'm going to stick to the cabin theme.
Okay.
All right. So I got a story about a cabin where a couple was married. The wife, they had a cabin up north, and the wife would constantly go to the cabin, which was not a big deal. She'd go up there with friends. But the husband started to think, well, maybe there was more going on. So she would go up there with friends, but she had forgotten that he had installed some security cameras up there. And he saw that she was bringing a multitude, not just one, of different men to the cabin with her when she would go there.
So she would bring a different one every week or several at the same time?
Majority was different times.
Okay,
yes, there was a
gotcha.
time where there was more than one, but it was mostly just different men that she would go up there and meet. Wow. And that was kind of her place to go. And he thought she was going up there with girlfriends and kind of having a fun weekend. But it turns out that she was up there with other people.
I wonder how many times cabins figure into affairs, because we're cabin country. And I'm going to guess that's your little hideaway. You don't have to go buy an apartment for your little hookups. You just go up to your cabin. I'm going to guess that happens probably more than we want to know.
Yes, I would say that over my course of my career, I have seen it way more times than that. I mean, it happens a lot that the cabins are part of the equation of why the divorce is happening.
So what else can we learn about cabins and divorce and custody and payment? What else does that involve?
Well, as far as that it goes, I mean, like you said, we are in cabin country, right? Everybody and their cousin has a cabin, right? And so cabins, though, can be kind of a tricky thing when you're getting divorced. There's marital and non-marital property. And a lot of times people think that the cabin is a marital asset that they're going to be given at the divorce or maybe get a part of or some of the equity. But it turns out that cabin may have been in the other person's family for a long period of time. Or maybe the money that purchased the cabin came from the other person's family, and they're going through a divorce, and they call me and they say, oh, we have this cabin, and we look a little deeper, and it turns out the cabin is not a marital asset. It's something that they're getting no part of. And it can be really shocking for people when they find that out at the time they sit down to get divorced.
Totally makes sense. I had a friend whose that family had the cabin since like 1930 over in Cable, Wisconsin, and they, it was just they were never going to get rid of it, and there was no divorce that was going to give anybody half of the cabin. So, really,
and it's even people sometimes they call and say, well, the cabin's titled in both of our names. And that doesn't matter. The title isn't the controlling part. The controlling part is the money. Look where it came from. Who bought it? When was it purchased? Was it before the marriage? That's what matters.
Jonathan, let's say somebody's listening right now and they need a lawyer. Do you know a good one and how to contact this person, Jonathan?
Well, I don't, but I can give them my number.
Okay. See, I told you he's funny. All right. How do we get a hold of you, Jonathan?
Yeah, you can get a hold of me on by phone at 612-822-6244, or you can always just go to my website, which is fogelfamilylaw.com.
All right, fogelfamilylaw.com. Find out more about Jonathan. He's been doing this for 30 years. He has handled thousands of cases from, men equally and women. So if you want a great attorney on your side, whether it's like maybe your ex is being difficult, and a lot of the time you handle stuff where it's not just a divorce, but somebody who's being difficult 3 years after the divorce.
Yeah, we do what we call those post-decree stuff. Yeah, I mean, I handle all of those types of cases.
All right, find Jonathan online, fogelfamilylaw.com, Fogel, fogelfamilylaw.com. Jonathan, have a great weekend. We'll see you next week, all right?
All right, you too. Take care, guys.